yeah.
Yeah, man. She's so proud. She said, they play your radio in Nigeria. They play your record in Nigeria.
Yes.
She's going nuts. Man. She's going crazy. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So we are going live in some seconds. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just be yourself.
Everybody else is taken.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
You need to do what's coming you are. Never be lonely if you can read somebody's problem. Everybody's life is precious, all protect us all. Don't let us fall.
We all bleed the same.
We all bleed the
Yeah.
same. We all bleed the 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 same.
Yes, we all bleed the same. And that's the message from the man himself. I am talking about someone who will play his song so much that if it were to be on a disc, I am sure that the thing would have scratched by now. He's a singer, he's a songwriter, he's a dancer, he's an actor, he's a mental health advocate, a globalist, he's a multicultural, diverse human. He's Nigerian, he is British, he is American. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, joining me all the way from the United States of America, where the time is 2 a.m. over there, is the man, Alex Boye.
Smooth FM, baby. How are you?
Thank you so much. I am doing very well. Thank you. I mean, I'm sorry first that I woke you up this early. I understand that you have it later in the day.
It's worth it. It's worth it. No problem. Anything for Smooth, man. Anything for you guys. I'm so honored that you play my music. That's just more than enough for me, you know. Yeah.
We love your music because your music has fueled and infused a lot of positivity. And that will get me to the first question. So one of your songs that I've played about 3 of your songs today. I've played Lemonade, which is one of my favorites. When life gives you lemon, just make it into lemonade and ice it and drink it up. And you have We All Bleed the Same. You have Smile for Life. You have Bend Not Break. And a number of them are filled with lots of positivity, saying that you should just get yourself and go. Now, you are a mental health advocate globally. So the question is, how did you find yourself in this path? How did you become this figure of hope, of positivity, encouragement?
Thank you. You know, it really starts from my childhood, where it wasn't the best. And you know, I don't know, my dad and my mother, you know, she raised me, and it was very hard, especially in England. And so, you know, I think a lot of it was, I wanted to just make sure that I didn't have the life that I had. There was always things that I wish that people would have told me when I was younger, like, I love you, or, you know, you got this, or you can do this, you know? And so I wanted to be that for other people, because I noticed that today, there's, with the internet and the media and everything, there can be so much bad stuff out there, and it affects you mentally, you know, because we always decide our mental health sometimes by how many followers we have or how many followers we don't have. You know, if nobody retweets us today or tomorrow, sometimes we can feel bad and think, oh, nobody cares. And we have to get that out of our head to know that we are already of worth. We are incredible people. Whether we have 10 followers or 250 million followers, we're still the same people. So I wanted to just share that message with people.
That is very beautiful. And so what was going on through your mind when you decided to come up with a suicide prevention concert?
Yeah, you know, this really, just because of some things, I actually attempted to take my life when I was 16. And I remember my goal was I was going to go to this nightclub. It's in London. And then I was going to take my life. Life was just really, really hard at the time. As I said, I don't know my dad, and my mother actually, she went on vacation for 3 weeks. actually to Nigeria, and I didn't see her again. She didn't come back. I know it's kind of hard, but so I was left with an uncle who was very abusive. And so I was in a dark place. I decided I wanted to take my life when I was 16, but I love to dance. So my goal was I was going to go to this nightclub, get my dance on, and then I was going to do the thing. And so when I'm on the night on the dance floor, I'm about to leave and do what I said I was going to do. All of a sudden, the DJ, he taps the microphone and says, "Yo, is that Alex Boye?" And I'm like, I'm 16 years old. How you know that? How the heck you know who I am? So I did a talent contest 3 weeks before that date. And he was the DJ. And he saw me. And I didn't realize. And I actually got booed off stage. It was terrible. It wasn't very good for my mental health. But anyway, he said to everyone in the nightclub, he said, "This man, he's gonna be big one day. This kid, he's gonna be big." He said, "Alex, you keep going, man. You don't stop. You keep going, you don't stop, man. You're gonna make it." And then he plays this song. And this song, it just changed my life. The words spoke to my soul. It was like 10 years of therapy in 3 minutes and 58 seconds.
Whoa.
And it changed the direction of my life. I didn't want to take my life again. And music saved me. So I guess going back to it, that's why music is so important. And that's why I feel like I want to give back with my music and do what that song did for me. If I could do it for somebody else, then I'm living a good life.
Oh, wow. That is very beautiful. I have this on WhatsApp saying, I love his songs. They're always so lifting and inspirational, and I get to hear them only on Smooth. That's from Charles Chidozie. Yes, we do have a number of people who certainly love your song. And of course, if you want to come through on WhatsApp, you can send your thoughts and messages. My special guest is Alex Boye, singer, songwriter, activist when it concerns mental health, all about the positive energy and giving you inspirational messages through the song that are very lively and danceable and infused with Africanized dance and beats and drums. And that reminds me, why do you always do that? You have this Africanized version for a number of songs. Literally all the covers are Africanized. Why?
Yeah. I got to spread the word about the country, man. I got to spread the word about the motherland. You know, as I said, I haven't been to Nigeria since I was 5. I've never been. So to me, it was, I always, when I was doing music, I felt a little empty. And my mom always used to say, "Tunde, why don't you put some African influence into music, man? Why don't you show your roots?" I'm like, "Mom, right?" And then I did it once by accident because it was 2 white boys that called me up, and they played the piano and the cello. They said, "Hey," and they're very, very big, huge following and everything, you know, here in the US. And they said, "Can you do a collaboration with us?" And it's a cover of a song by Coldplay, right? And they said, "But we want you to sing it in like African." I said, "What do you mean African? What language? There's like 250,000. They said, "What you choose?" I said, "Okay." So I called Mom. I said, "Mommy," I said, "can you help me with some Yoruba, some Swahili?" I said, you know. So I did it. And I remember I went into the studio. I'll never forget it. It's the first time that I felt so natural. When I was singing in Yoruba, it felt so natural, and I'd never done it before. She helped me with the words, and then I did some Swahili and some other language, and I felt like a king. I've never felt so royal and so free before, and I realized that God was telling me that this was always in me, that it's time for me to get it out. And so it just felt good, man. It felt good. So I do it all the time, especially in the Western world here. It's a way for me to introduce, you know, the culture in a small way to people here.
I think we should celebrate that. And because of that, I'm going to play one of the songs that I also enjoy. I think I enjoy all your songs, really.
Wow.
One of the songs from the Coming to America album, I believe. This will be Celebrate. Ladies and gentlemen, my special guest, Alex Boye.
Going through life, sometimes you wonder why the sun got swallowed by the dark sky. Yeah. But that's alright, cause there are stars that shine at night to light your way and make it easy.
So will you still get to go back to sleep?
Oh man, it's good. Yeah, splendid. I can sleep like that.
Oh
I can
wow.
sleep like that, man. I'll be like, hey, dear. It's easy, man.
That's a gift. I struggle
So
sometimes to get to sleep.
well, I have 8 kids.
Yeah.
So it's so easy, man. It's like you have to try and find it any way you can, man. So
After all the activities.
yeah, man, it's good. Life is good.
Sometimes I wonder how you're able to keep everything together. Family, you have lots of concerts, things going
Yeah,
on. How are you
yeah.
maintaining the balance?
I think really it's just doing what I love, trying to follow my bliss. Because really, if you're honest, there's really no such thing as balance. It's just doing the one thing at the time, doing the one. Like when you go to the circus and you see those sticks and they put the plates on it, and then you have to keep it going. What I noticed is that the one you focus on, the one that's about to fall, and then you go there, and then you go to the next one, then you go to the next one, then the one's about to fall, you go. So it's like you just focus on the thing at hand, and it's fun.
True. It reminds me of
Yeah,
this famous quote that says, "Life is like the wheels of a bicycle. For you to maintain balance, you have to keep it going."
yeah, baby, that's right. I love it. That's so good. I'm going to have to use it on my next song.
You're
I give
welcome.
you royalties. I give you 2%.
Woo!
Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Get your hands up, hands up, hands up. Celebrate. And that's the reason why we celebrate. And that's the reason why we celebrate. We give love, the universe.
It's hard to listen to your song and not move. Very,
Oh, yeah.
even if it's on
There we
your
go.
stage, you have to move.
Reason why we celebrate. Oh, and that's the reason why we celebrate. Hey, hey. If we give love, the universe will find a way to change our fate. We're so breathing, and that's the reason
Why we celebrate. See what
Yeah,
you always have to have that positive burst of energy
you
whenever
have to, man. You have
Alex
to.
Boye song. You just have to celebrate it another day. I always say that every day above the ground is a good
Woo!
day. We have so many
Yeah, baby.
reasons to be thankful. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for that breath of fresh air. It is
thank
so
you.
good. And I have this one from Eberi. He or she says, "I'm so glad I tuned into Smooth FM this morning. Listening to Alex Boye's story gave me goosebumps. I like his music, but didn't know his name. I know it now, and I'll listen to more of his songs. God
Wow.
bless you, Alex."
Wow. Thank you. Wow.
Thank you so much for
So happy.
making music that great.
Thank you. That means so
Now,
much.
so let's go to another thing that I'm very curious about, your way of dressing. You are so, I mean, it's not just your song that is Africanized, your dress, especially that thing where you have the white mark on your eye. Tell me, how
Yeah.
did that come about?
Well, that's really it's a tribute, to just my African roots because I remember my mom, she was telling me this was probably about 20 years ago, I used to say and she talked to me about the marks, the tribal marks that everybody has, a lot of the different tribes that will have. And that stemmed back to even the slave trade where the mothers, would mark their kids' faces so that if they see them 20 years later, when they get taken away, they would recognize them. And so it was something where I was like, okay, I wanted to use that as a symbol of recognizing where my roots are from. So of me never forgetting who I really, really am. So, that's really it. Because like I said, my goal is to come to Nigeria. I haven't been since I was
When
5
are
years
you
old.
coming? When are you
Man,
coming?
I was supposed to come and then COVID hit. So, but that's okay. It's gonna prepare me, get me ready for the next one. But I want to come this year, hopefully soon, even if it's doing a mini tour, because I didn't know that my music was being listened to in Nigeria, and you guys started playing my music first. And I think other people started to follow, and people started to say, yeah, man, I just got back from Nigeria. They're playing your music. I said, what? I couldn't believe it. I was almost in tears. I said, no way. So I had to tell my mom, that's the only thing she's the most proud of. She said, man, Flair, man, my son's music in Nigeria. That's right. All the other stuff, she don't care, man. But when she found out that, they like his music, in Nigeria, oh gosh, they just play. It just makes me so happy.
Oh, that is so refreshing. The way you are doing the impression and the accent, that is good. Now, Lagos, Nigeria, and the rest of the world, you can see his face. Just go to our YouTube channel. That will be Smooth 92 FM Lagos on YouTube. He's joining me all the way, and it is 2 a.m. If you look at the background, it is still dark. I am so thankful that he's here. So you can be a part of this conversation. Send your messages to 0809-444-0981. You have listened to his music. You have appreciated. Now is the time to say, yes, thank you for reinvigorating me on some of the days that I didn't have energy. So send your messages to 0809-444-0981. Now, if you had the ears of the whole world, what would be your message to them?
I would say to the whole world, you are a 10. And what I mean by that is that when we were born and we came to this earth, I imagine we came as 10, meaning it's the most perfect number. You see every little baby, and every baby is perfect. You're like, oh, you squeeze that cheek. Oh, he's so beautiful. He's so cute, right? And then when we get older, we're like, what happened? You know what I mean? It's like we let people take our numbers, meaning someone tell us that we're bad or we're not good enough or we'll never make it or we'll never accomplish. Then we believe them, and then they take away our numbers. Even you can go walk in a village, walk into a school, walk into an office, and you could tell the number that a person has given themselves by the way they walk, by the way they talk. Sometimes we can easily have insecurities, and we compare ourselves to everybody, especially on the internet now. When we're scrolling, we compare the worst of our lives or the worst of our lives to the best of their lives. And sometimes it's not even accurate. And so I wanted to share a message with people that we are all 10s and there's nothing we can do about it. So let's say we lose our job, we are still a 10. Sometimes you lose our job and then we turn back into a 5 or a 2. But what I'm trying to say is, no matter what, let's say if we break up with our boyfriend or girlfriend, we're still a 10, but we don't have a girlfriend anymore. If we lose our job, we're still a 10, but we're still a 10, but we're broke. You know what I mean? If we lose our, so it's just like if we don't get that promotion, we're still a 10. And so for me, it's like no matter what happens on the outside, we are still always going to be a 10. There's nothing we can do about it. And when we have that attitude, I really feel it affects us and it makes us believe that those type of experiences will keep happening to us. Good experiences, if we keep believing that we deserve it. So it's kind of my message. Be a 10. Be a 10. Be a 10, people. Be a 10. We're all 10s.
You are a 10. Know that you're a 10. You always be a 10. So accept the fact that you're a 10. That's a good one. Yeah. I think I'll borrow that line. I will. Now, you are a solo artist, yet most times when we listen to a number of your songs, you have so many people, so many voices. Even in the videos, you're always in the company of so many people. Why is that?
It's about unity. They said no man is an island, meaning you can't do anything by yourself. And I always like to show that through my music. And one of my favorite things to do is even join with different people who don't look like me or different cultures, is bringing my flavor to somebody else's flavor, maybe an Asian or, an Indian, or, a choir that's from Russia. I love to do that whole thing because we're all in this great big world and we all help each other. It's like if one person is suffering, we're all suffering. If one person is happy, then let's all try and be happy. So I love working with different types of people because it makes me better and I learn more.
Oh, that's very beautiful. I think there was also that one you did with the One Voice. You have done a number of things with One Voice Children Choir. And that is, I think Let It Go, the Africanized version, is super cool.
Man, that went crazy here in the US. Crazy. I got a call from Disney. We went on America's Got Talent. They called and they had me perform on the show just because of that one song. You know, so it opened a lot of doors,
I guess it's true what they say, that when you are all about helping people, more doors open up to you.
It's powerful. It's so real. Yeah. It's real. Yeah.
Yomi has this message for you. He says, thank you for bringing so much love and positivity through your music, Alex Boye. Heard your song for the first time on Smooth FM a few weeks ago on my way to work around 5:30 a.m. and I have watched a lot of your videos on YouTube. Please keep on being you. You are such an inspiration.
Wow. Thank you, Yomi. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I am just waiting for you to come to Nigeria so that we can usher you into the studio and of course have a swell time here.
You'll be the first to know. I'm telling you, we're trying to set it up, man. I want to do some big concerts. I'm telling you. We coming, sis. We coming.
Yes. We are looking forward and waiting for that. I'll take a quick breather, and when I come back, it will be the last words from Alex Boye. This is Smooth Explorer. My guest is the global, the multicultural, the multi-generational, the talented, and of course, the man himself, Alex Boye.
This is Paul. Music to me is life and death. Music to me is breathing. Music to me is
I can't wait to
water,
have you here so that we have a concert and I'm in the front line and I'm screaming.
Let's go. Let's go.
Love music.
Coming.
Smooth.
It's will be lovely, super lovely. And then we'll bring out the full African Afrobeat energy.
Hey, gotta be done. I'm so excited.
Smooth music. Music is live. Here on Smooth 98.1. I go by the name Santa. Don't touch that dial.
Happiness, such a contagious feeling. No matter how it starts, it spreads like wildfire. Like when everyone hot amala at Owambe. Place jams and everybody gets down.
That's contagious.
Even when the celebrant declares, serve everyone a cold bottle of Maltina.
You know how we like to
Happiness.
how we like to bring our flavor to literally everything.
But Maltina.
That's fun.
Maltina. Share happiness.
What we're going to do right now is take you way back into time. Way back to timeless music.
Let's get it on
With Motown greatest hits from as far back as the 70s. Marvin Gaye, The Temptations, Gloria Gaynor, Gladys Knight, Gladys Sexy. Enjoy the smooth collection and blend of Motown greatest hits on your radio. Motown Monday, every Monday from 11 a.m.
moving.
I hope you did not move a muscle because you cannot afford to. I have my special guest here and you should not even leave until we are done. Don't worry, I'm about to wrap up the conversation. You can be a part of it by sending your messages to 0809-444-0981 or you go to our YouTube channel where we are currently live streaming. Go to youtube.com/smooth91FM Lagos and then you see us right there. Of course, you can also view the video later on as much as you can. Share the information with somebody and of course let's all have this good time together. Now you had the last album which will be coming to America. I'd like to know, what is the story behind? I mean, you have mentioned part of it. I already have a glimpse into it going by your journey, but what is the story behind coming to America?
You know, one of my favorite movies was Coming to America, Eddie Murphy, you know, and there's a lot that I could relate to, but mine was really coming to the US was a thing that God told me to do, but he never showed me how to do it. Wow. I just knew that I was supposed to be there. And that's really how my music really started getting going, because a lot of my experiences to get to America is what I've been writing in my songs. you know, because it was really hard. It was really a struggle and everything. And I didn't know anyone, but I just thought, you know what? As long as I know God, that's what matters. So that's where I got my, you know, my inspiration from. And then it's funny, your ad, you just talked about Gladys Knight. I got to meet her in Vegas in her studio. She has a studio, and she came into the studio and said, hey, come and eat. And she fed myself and my manager and some of our friends. We sat at just home cooking, you know. And there I'm saying, man, I'm sitting in front of Gladys Knight. Are you kidding me? And we walk into her house, and then there's this long hallway, and she's got pictures of all these famous superstars, yeah? And then when I get to the middle, her front room, she has this big round table, and she has all these pictures all around of all these famous superstars. And right in the middle, though, the biggest picture is one of Jesus. And I remember just thinking it was a powerful lesson for me to what was the most important to her. She had all the pictures of the superstars all around, but the biggest picture was the one of Jesus. And she said, if I have that, everything else will fall into place. If I don't have that, nothing else matters. And so that's really something that helped me, always knowing that I can be guided, you know, guided by the biggest voice. It's not always the loudest, but it's the biggest voice. And that's always been a guide to me. My mom always told me that. Always be guided by the biggest voice, God's voice. I have this shirt.
Confidence.
Confidence. Because the confidence is one thing, but Godfidence is another. That's when you know that no matter what, it is always going to turn out right, no matter what. That's Godfidence for me. So I wanted to infuse that message throughout coming to America. You know, they talk about here the American dream, where you're like, yeah. So that's really what it's all about. But the African dream is exactly the same. But we compare it. We look at the American dream and we think it's here. Then we look at the African dream and we think it's here. No, it's the same. But everybody understands the word American dream. So I wanted to show that, you know. But you can have that anywhere. Even in your own backyard. It's a mindset. It's not about physically. So yeah.
What would be that thing that when you finally achieve it, you will say, my work here is done?
There's no such thing. Your work is never done until you're dead. You know, they always say, I have a guy here, he say, I sleep when I'm dead. It's like, it's not saying that you have to work every day, have fun, but if you finally get to a point where you think that you've accomplished something, then you start to sink. It's like what you said with the bike. You got to keep pedaling. You can't ever stop. Because I used to remember thinking, man, if I can get that one song on the charts and it gets big, then I've made it. And then I get there and I'm like, huh? Or whatever goal that I want. Once I get it, then I'm like, huh? And I start to realize that the most enjoyment I got was not the destination, but it was the journey. It was the journey. Don't ever chase the destination. Chase the journey. That's where the fun is. Because then we'll look back and miss all the good times. Because we're so focused on where we want to be. Enjoy life now, today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't look in the past. Don't look in the future even. It's today. Everything that we do today will decide where we're going to be tomorrow. I once heard that if you're wondering where you're going to be in 5 years, look at the things that you're doing right now. You know, so I learned that from a friend of mine, where it's like, don't ever wait till you say you've made it. It's like everybody wants to get a record deal. And I have a lot of friends, once they get the record deal, then they slow down and don't work as hard. No, you got to work now even harder. So you just got to keep going. And that's where I get my enjoyment. I'm like, what's next? They always chase the next thing. Don't ever settle with where you are. But enjoy the journey.
You know, what you just said reminds me of one line from Miles Monroe's book, Understanding Your Potential. He said, one of the greatest enemies of potential is success. When you achieve something and you get satisfied and you feel like, yes, this is it. No, this is never it. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
So this is the end of the chat. I wish we could go on, but sadly we have to end it. Thank you so much. And if you're to leave a word with somebody who's listening, now everybody already, there is this message from Larry Kujuri that says, "You are making my morning. Thank you." And so if there is that message, that word you want to leave with somebody, aside the fact that they need to constantly know that they are a 10, what will be the additional message that this is it? Just go with it. If you have not heard anything so far from this conversation, go with this one.
Yeah. One thing I would do to everybody is there's a word called peace. Every word has energy. And there are a few words that you say over and over again, and it changes your inside from the inside out. And the word is peace. And what I've started doing is I write it on my window. I write it everywhere. I open up my wallet. I write it there. In my car, I see it. So focus on one word every day for 30 days. The word peace. It will change your life. I promise you. You say it 200 times a day. You write it everywhere. You write it down, write it, print it, put it on your phone, write it everywhere for 30 days, and you will see a big change. When God says, "Peace I leave with you," not as the world lives with you, but as you start to see, no matter what happens, all the crap, the terrible things that happen in life, the peace will overtake you. So I wanted to leave the word peace with everybody, that they say it every day, use it, share it, and it will change your life because it's God's word.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Even the mess sound of that sounds really peaceful.
I like that.
It's been a really great time with you, no doubt. I look forward to you really coming to Nigeria, and I look forward to more conversations. Of course, cheers to more great, more positive music, more lovely danceable tunes. There is that one, I should tell you, the Wakanda one, the warrior song. Absolutely lovely. And the Afrobeat of "We Don't Talk About Bruno."
Let's go.
I think it is delightful. Thank you so much for doing what you do.
Thank you so much.
Please keep being you.
Bless you. And keep up the great work. And thanks for bringing joy to the world. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your concert later in the day and have the best of time.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Let's go.
That's it. That's the energy.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
All right, that's it. Thank you so much. I have had absolutely great time. I don't know about you, but I've had a wonderful time with Alex Boye. You can